Sir, I'm going to need you to head out for now.
I'm sorry, what? I'm just looking at the watches.
I
Is there a
understand.
problem?
We've had some concerns, and I asked security to document the
I
interaction.
haven't done anything wrong.
All right, that's noted.
Black man walks into a jewelry store. He is wearing a gray hoodie and jeans. He just wants to look at some watches, but the store owner has other plans. "Sir, I'm gonna need you to leave," she says. "I'm sorry. What? I'm just looking at watches," he replies. Sure you are. Is there a problem? Look, I've already called the cops, so you can either leave now or wait for them. Ma'am, I haven't done anything wrong. Huh, okay, sure, we'll let the police decide that. I'd actually like to speak with someone from corporate. Corporate? That's cute. You'll be speaking with the police in about 2 minutes. Karen Mitchell had no idea what she just walked into. In the next 72 hours, her store would shut down, her career would be destroyed, her company would face a $4.8 million lawsuit. The quiet man in the gray hoodie she just threatened? His name is Marcus Williams. He is one of the city's most respected philanthropists. His net worth is over $40 million. Marcus had given $12 million to local schools. He funded 3 homeless shelters. Last year, he won the Mayor's Humanitarian Award. He sits on the board of 2 major companies. He was not shopping for a watch. He was thinking about buying the entire building. And the security cameras above? They caught every single word. Before I continue, let me ask you something. Have you ever been treated unfairly because of how you look? Drop your answer in the comments below. But Karen Mitchell had no idea who she was screaming at. Marcus Williams is 52 years old. He grew up poor in Detroit. His family had nothing, but Marcus worked hard. He got into Harvard Business School. He earned his MBA. Then he built something amazing. Today, Marcus runs Williams Capital Group. His company manages over $800 million. He started from nothing and became one of the most successful businessmen in the Midwest. But here is the thing about Marcus. He does not look rich. He does not wear fancy suits on weekends. No gold chains. No expensive cars with drivers. On his days off, Marcus wears hoodies and sneakers. He looks like any regular guy. That is exactly what Karen saw. A black man in a hoodie. She made up her mind in seconds. What she did not know is that Marcus gives away millions every year. He has paid for over 200 students to go to college. He built shelters for homeless families. The mayor gave him an award for helping the community. But wait, there is more to this story. Marcus was not just shopping that day. He was looking at the shopping center because he wanted to buy it. The whole building, every store inside it, including the jewelry store where Karen worked. On this Saturday afternoon, Marcus just wanted to look at watches. He had no idea he was about to become famous for all the wrong reasons. Karen Mitchell had a reputation in this neighborhood, and it was not a good one. Karen was 47 years old. She had been the manager at Lux & Co. Jewelers for 6 years. She ran a tight ship, but she also had a problem, a big one. In 3 years, Karen got 14 customer complaints. Every single one came from a person of color. Every single one said the same thing. Karen treated them like criminals. Let me tell you about some of these complaints. In 2022, a Hispanic family came in to look at engagement rings. Karen called security on them. She said they looked suspicious. That family? They were both doctors. In 2023, an Asian American woman was browsing the store. Karen accused her of planning to steal something. That woman had spent $15,000 at that same store before. She was a regular customer. In 2024, Karen demanded ID from a black teenager. She said he did not belong there. That teenager's father was the district attorney. The company knew about all of this. HR made Karen watch a 20-minute training video. That was it. She kept her job. Nothing changed. The employees had a nickname for Karen. They called her the gatekeeper. They knew what she did. They saw it happen over and over, but they were scared to speak up. They needed their jobs. Type wrong in the comments if you think Karen should have been fired a long time ago. But this time was different. This time, Karen picked the wrong target. And this time, someone was recording everything. It was Saturday, the 15th of March, 2025. The time was 2:47 inches the afternoon. Lux & Co. Jewelers sits in Riverside Plaza Shopping Center. It is a high-end mall in suburban Chicago, the kind of place where watches cost more than cars. That Saturday was busy. Soft jazz played on the speakers. About 8 customers walked around the store. 2 sales workers were behind the counter. Their names were Derek and Melissa. Derek was 24. Melissa was 31. They had worked there for years. At 2:47, Marcus walked in. Gray hoodie, dark jeans, white sneakers. He was not wearing a watch. That is why he came in. He wanted to buy one. Derek smiled and walked over. He was friendly and helpful. He offered to show Marcus the Rolex collection. Marcus said yes. Everything was normal. Then Karen noticed. She was in the back office watching the security cameras. She saw Marcus on the screen. She watched him for 90 seconds. Then she walked onto the sales floor. Karen walked right up to Derek and Marcus. She cut Derek off in the middle of a sentence. "I'll handle this one," she said. Her voice was cold. Derek stepped back. He knew that tone. He had heard it before. Karen looked at Marcus. She asked if he needed help finding the exit. Marcus was confused. He said he wanted to see the Submariner watches. Karen asked if he knew how much they cost. Marcus smiled and said yes. 5 minutes. That is all it took. At 2:52, Karen walked away and called 911. If stories like this mattered to you, hit that subscribe button right now. Karen came back from her phone call. Her face was hard. She walked straight to Marcus. "I'm going to need to see some ID," she said, "before you touch anything else." Marcus stayed calm. "Why? Is that required?" "It's store policy." Derek was standing nearby. He spoke quietly to Marcus. "That's not true. We don't have that policy." Karen's head snapped toward Derek. "I'm the manager. I decide the policy. Go help someone else." Derek walked away, but he did not go far. He watched from across the room. Marcus tried again. "Is there a corporate number I can call? I'd like to speak to someone above you." Karen laughed. It was not a nice laugh. "Corporate? You think corporate cares about you?" "Actually, I think they might." Karen's smile disappeared. "I need you to leave. Now." Marcus did not move. His voice stayed calm. "I'd like to wait for the police you called. I want this on record." Karen froze. She did not expect that. She thought he would run. Most people did. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out for a second. "How did you know I called them?" "I heard you. This store is not that big." Now other customers were watching. The store got quiet. You could feel the tension. An older woman named Linda spoke up. She was 62 years old. She had shopped at this store for 10 years. "This is disgusting," she said. "I've never seen anything like this. I'm never coming back here." A younger man named James pulled out his phone. He was 35. He pointed the camera at Karen. "Ma'am, you know this is going to be everywhere, right?" Karen ignored them both. She stepped closer to Marcus. She pointed her finger in his face. Her voice got louder. "You need to leave my store right now." Marcus did not step back. He kept his hands where everyone could see them. His voice stayed level. "I'm not leaving, and I'm not the one who's going to regret this." Melissa, the other employee, walked over. She whispered to Karen, "Please stop. This is wrong." Karen did not listen. What Karen did not know was that Marcus had already sent a text. His lawyer got the message. That lawyer sits on the board of the NAACP. Let me know in the comments, what would you do if this happened to you? 12 minutes passed. It felt like 12 hours. At 3:04, 2 police officers walked through the door. Their names were Officer Rodriguez and Officer Chen. Karen rushed over to them before they could even look around. "Thank God you're here," she said. "This man refused to leave. He was acting suspicious. I felt threatened. Officer Rodriguez nodded. He was calm. He had done this many times before. He walked over to Marcus. "Sir, can you tell me what happened?" Marcus reached slowly into his pocket. He pulled out his wallet. He handed over his ID. "I came in to look at watches," Marcus said. "I was browsing. The young man over there was helping me. Then this woman came over and told me to leave. She called you before I could even ask why." Officer Rodriguez looked at the ID. Then he looked again. His eyes got wide. "Wait, Marcus Williams? The Marcus Williams?" Karen's face changed. "You know him?" "My daughter got one of his scholarships. She's in college right now because of this man." Karen did not know what to say. Her plan was falling apart. But then more people started talking. Derek stepped forward. His voice was shaking, but he spoke anyway. "Officer, he didn't do anything wrong. She just assumed. She does this all the time." Melissa nodded. "It's true. We have a whole folder of complaints about her. HR never did anything." James held up his phone. "I got the whole thing recorded. 7 minutes and 23 seconds. Every word." Linda was already on her phone. "I'm calling corporate right now. This is unacceptable." Now Karen understood how bad this was. Her face went pale. She started talking fast. "I was just following our safety rules. I didn't know who he was. This is all just a big mix-up." Officer Chen shook his head. "Ma'am, your safety rules don't include racial profiling." The officers took statements from everyone. Derek and Melissa told the truth. James showed his video. The store's security cameras had 4 different angles. They recorded everything with full sound. Marcus showed the officers the text messages he sent to his lawyer. Everything was documented. Then Rodriguez turned to Karen. "Here's what we have. You called 911 and said a man was being threatening, but the video shows he never raised his voice. He never moved toward you. He kept his hands visible the whole time. You blocked the exit. You pointed your finger in his face. Ma'am, you're the one who was aggressive here." Karen tried one more time. "But I felt unsafe. You have to understand." "What I understand," Rodriguez said, "is that you judged this man by his clothes and his skin color, and you were wrong." There is something Karen still did not know, something that would make everything worse. Marcus Williams was not just a philanthropist. He was not just rich. He was a major shareholder in the company that owned this store. He literally owned part of her workplace. Type karma in the comments if you think Karen got what she deserved. The video James recorded was already online. He posted it while the police were still there. By the time corporate found out, thousands of people had already seen it. 40 minutes later, a woman in a business suit rushed through the door. Her name was Stephanie Moore. She was the regional director. She looked like she had run the whole way from her car. Stephanie saw Marcus first. Her face went white. She knew exactly who he was. Everyone in the company knew. His picture was in their annual reports. "Mr. Williams," she said, "I am so sorry. I just saw the video. I came as fast as I could." Karen watched this happen. Her mouth fell open. Her boss was apologizing to the man she had just called the police on. Stephanie got to work. She asked to see the security footage. The officers showed her. She watched every minute. Her jaw got tighter with each scene. Then she asked for Karen's employee file. She read through the complaints, 14 of them, all the same story, different customers, same treatment. She talked to Derek alone. He told her everything. He said Karen did this all the time. He said everyone was afraid of her. She talked to Melissa. Same story. Melissa was crying. She said she felt guilty for not speaking up sooner. Then Stephanie compared Karen's story to the facts. Karen said Marcus was acting suspicious. The video showed him calmly looking at watches with his hands visible. Karen said she asked for ID as policy. The video showed she never asked until after she called 911. Karen said she felt threatened. The video showed Marcus never raised his voice. He never stepped toward her. He stayed more than 6 feet away the whole time. The evidence was clear. Karen lied. And now, there was proof. Stephanie made her decision. She suspended Karen right there. Karen would not be allowed back until the investigation was done. The police filed an official report about racial profiling. Stephanie apologized to Marcus in front of everyone. Karen did not take it well. "This isn't fair," she yelled. "I've worked here for 6 years." "And in those 6 years," Stephanie said, "you've had 14 complaints. We should have acted sooner. We didn't. That's on us. But this ends today." Karen tried a different approach. "He's the one you should look at, not me." Officer Rodriguez stepped in. "Ma'am, I think you should stop talking now." Karen finally went quiet. But the damage was done. Marcus stayed calm through all of it. When Stephanie offered another apology, he said something that stuck with everyone. "I don't want an apology, I want change." If you want to see what happened next, make sure you're subscribed. We post stories like this every week. James posted the video at 3:15 that afternoon. By 4, it had 50,000 views. By 5, it hit 200,000. By 7, local news stations in Chicago were talking about it. Let me walk you through what happened hour by hour. By 4 p.m., the video was on Twitter and TikTok. People were sharing it everywhere. By 5 p.m., it had 200,000 views across both platforms. By 7 p.m., every local Chicago news channel had picked up the story. By 10 p.m., CNN, MSNBC, and Fox were all running it on national TV. By midnight, the video had 4.2 million views total. The numbers kept climbing. On Twitter, it got 1.8 million views and 45,000 retweets. On TikTok, it got 2.1 million views and 380,000 likes. People shared it on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. The comments were brutal for Karen. One person wrote, "A philanthropist. She called the cops on a philanthropist. I can't believe this." Another said, "He's donated more money than she'll make in 10 lifetimes." Someone else wrote, "This is why we say shopping while black is real." And one comment that got thousands of likes said, "He literally sits on the board of her own company." News outlets picked it up fast. The Chicago Tribune ran a front-page story. The Washington Post covered it. NPR did a segment. It was everywhere. The company had to respond. They released a statement saying they were shocked and sorry. They promised a full review of all discrimination complaints. Karen tried to do damage control. She deleted all her social media accounts. She hired a PR company to help her image. She even put out an apology statement. It did not work. People saw right through it. Her apology blamed the situation, not herself. She said it was a misunderstanding. She never said she was wrong. 3 days later, Karen was officially fired. This video was shared millions of times. If you think more people should see this story, share it right now. Marcus did not let this go. On the 22nd of March, 2025, 1 week after the incident, he filed a federal lawsuit. He sued 3 parties. He sued Karen Mitchell personally. He sued Lux & Co. Jewelers. And he sued Riverside Retail Holdings, the parent company that owned the store. The lawsuit made 4 claims. First, racial discrimination under the Civil Rights Act. Karen treated Marcus differently because of his race. Second, emotional distress. The incident caused Marcus real pain and suffering. Third, false imprisonment. Karen blocked the exit and would not let Marcus leave freely. Fourth, defamation. Karen made a false police report that could have ruined Marcus's reputation. Now here is where it gets interesting. During the legal process, they dug into Karen's history. They found all 14 complaints. Every single one showed the same pattern. Karen targeted people of color. They also found internal emails. HR knew about the complaints. Management knew. They did nothing real to stop it. That 20-minute training video? That was their entire response to years of discrimination. The company could not defend this. The evidence was too strong. The video was too clear. The pattern was too obvious. Let me tell you what the final settlement looked like. For compensatory damages, meaning payment for the harm done, Marcus received $3.2 million. For punitive damages, meaning punishment to the company for allowing this to happen, he received $1.6 million. The total came to $4.8 million. But there was more to the settlement than money. The company had to make real changes. They had to create new anti-discrimination training that actually works. They had to do quarterly audits to check for problems. They had to set up an anonymous hotline for complaints. And Karen, her consequences were serious. She was fired and blacklisted from retail management. No major store would hire her. She faced criminal charges for filing a false police report. She pled guilty to a misdemeanor. She got 200 hours of community service and 2 years of probation. She was banned from all Riverside retail properties nationwide. She cannot step foot in any of their stores. And she had to pay $150,000 herself as part of the settlement. Karen released one more statement through her lawyer. She called it a misunderstanding again. She never admitted she was wrong. Nobody believed her. Marcus said something powerful after the settlement. I didn't do this for money. I did this because the next person Karen targets might not have my resources. They might not survive it. The money was not the point. Justice was the point. On the 15th of April 2025, Marcus Williams held a press conference. It was at a community center in Chicago. Reporters filled the room. Cameras were everywhere. Marcus stood at the podium. He did not look angry. He looked tired. But he had something important to say. I have built companies, he said. I have sat in boardrooms with billionaires. I have dinner with senators. But in that moment, in that store, I was just a black man in a hoodie. And that was enough to make me a criminal in her eyes. He paused. The room was silent. I had resources. I had a lawyer on speed dial. I had connections. I had money to fight back. But what about the teenager who doesn't? What about the single mom who can't afford a lawyer? What about the college student who needs that job and can't risk speaking up? Marcus had a message for workers who see this happen. You have the right to refuse unfair orders. You have the right to document everything. You have the right to speak up. Your job is not worth your integrity. Derek and Melissa did the right thing. They told the truth. That took courage. He had a message for people like Karen, too. To anyone who thinks they can treat people this way because of how they look, consequences are real now. Cameras are everywhere. The world is watching. Marcus talked about what he wants to change. Mandatory training that actually works. Real systems for reporting problems. Actual accountability, not just videos that nobody watches. He thanked the people who helped. Derek for speaking up. Melissa for telling the truth. James for recording. Officer Rodriguez for seeing him as a person. Then Marcus said his final words. I don't want to be special. I want to be ordinary. I want to walk into a store and be treated like everyone else. That shouldn't require a net worth. This story is not just about Karen and Marcus. It is about a bigger problem. 8 out of 10 Black Americans say they have been racially profiled while shopping. That number comes from Gallup research. Every year, workers file over 58,000 discrimination complaints. Only 2% of those lead to legal action. Most people cannot afford to fight back. Marcus won because he had money and connections. Most victims do not. The system protects companies, not people. After this case, Illinois passed a new law. Stores must now keep security footage for 90 days. If someone files a complaint, that is progress, but we need more. So, let me ask you, do we wait for every victim to be a millionaire before we believe them? Do we keep letting HR bury complaints until someone records it? Do we accept that watching a 20-minute video counts as real training? Because if we don't fix these systems, If we don't hold companies accountable, then we're just waiting for the next Karen, the next Marcus, the next viral video that should never have been necessary. This could happen to anyone. It could happen to you. It could happen to your family. The only difference between Marcus and thousands of other victims is that he had the money to fight back. That is not justice. That is luck. Comment below if you believe stores should face automatic fines for proven racial profiling. No lawsuit required. Yes or no? I want to know what you think. If you believe stories like this matter, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications. We are going to keep exposing these stories. We are going to keep demanding better. We are going to keep fighting for workers who speak up, for customers who deserve respect, for a world where your skin color does not decide how you get treated. This is not just about Karen Mitchell or Marcus Williams. This is about all of us. This is about the system we are willing to accept. I will see you in the next one.